Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today, for this episode, I'm going to put on the base gasket and the engine cylinders. So, for the first part, I'm going to install the base gasket, and a lot of people skip this step because they feel that it makes more power because it'll increase the compression, and honestly, from my experience, it's negligible. Also, I had some material skimmed off of the head, so I don't really think it's necessary. I think you should use a base gasket just to prevent leaks and issues like that. In order to put the gasket on the engine, I'm going to be using the copper sprayer gasket high temp sealant, and I'm going to spray both sides of it, and then I'm going to stick it on the engine right around the pistons. And just to kind of take you guys through this, I have these makeshift studs. These were basically bolts, extra engine bolts that I ordered off eBay, and I sawed off the heads of them just so I can kind of get that in place, so I can align the cylinders when I install it. So I'm going to start by applying the copper gasket sealer, and it doesn't take much. You just want to shake it pretty good, and hopefully the spray is not too messy. If it is messy, I'm going to take it over somewhere else and spray it. That's really all it is. It's just a tacky. Just flip that one more time. Check out the other side. That might have been more than enough, but I'll start to let that dry for a hot second. And I'm just going to take that, stick that over there on the side real quick. And I'm going to set the camera down, see if I can get a better view. Get some elevation for the camera real quick. Right there should be good. Alright, so there it is right there in a nutshell. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be compressing the piston rings with these clamps and then holding them in place with these fork tools, 2 at a time. I'm going to do the top 2 first, and then I'm going to try to mount the cylinders. And so, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's good to get a helper if you can. I'll probably have someone help me with that. But that's basically the procedure. You get everything in place, you get the clamps on the pistons, hook up the tools, hold both of them, have somebody start to lower the cylinders, use your rubber mallet and just to kind of lightly, gently tap on it, and make sure you don't damage the piston rings in the process, and that is the key. So it's surgical precision is required. And I'm chuckling because, like I said in my other video, a lot of people struggle with this. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down, get started on that, and I'll start rolling again in a few minutes. Alright, so I got the cylinders on. I actually didn't struggle with it as much as I thought I would. I was able to use the clamps for the 2 pistons in the center, and for the outers, they were actually all the way at the bottom. I really couldn't use the clamp, but I took my time. I rocked it from side to side, and I basically used my finger and this flat tip screwdriver to get them in gradually, and just slide it in. And so now what I've done is I've taken off the ignition rotor and the bolt off of the old crank, and I'm going to install it right in here on the new crank. After it cools off, I had to put some heat to it because it wasn't budging. And then once I do that, I'm going to use a wrench to turn the motor so you guys can see what that looks like. Alright, so I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to let this rotor cool off and get the right tools, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when you get when you turn the pistons. The pistons should go up and down freely without any resistance. If you have resistance, you need to be very careful. Pull it back off gently and inspect your rings. Make sure none of them were damaged. Alright, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to put on that timing rotor, and yeah, I'll show you how it looks when you turn the motor. To torque down the timing rotor, and just so you can see it, it is, I didn't torque it down, I just kind of stuck it on there. So if you can see, it's got a little groove, and the groove grows in that little knob on the crankshaft. So you just, as best as you can, line that up just like that, and you're going to stick that bolt on there. Now the torque for this, in the book it said 18 foot-pounds. Let me set the camera down while I torque that. It didn't say to use any Loctite, so I'm not, but I can tell you guys that this bolt is one of the hardest. That bolt is one of the hardest to remove. So I'm going to set my torque wrench. To 18 foot-pounds as specified in the manual. And the pistons are starting to move. I'll let you guys see that in a minute. I'm going to have to get a wrench to torque that down. Not sure what size it is. Let's see if it's a 17. Nope, it's bigger than a 17. About a 19. That's it. That's all the torque that it's required. Okay, well, let's see if I can get this to turn without locking up the chain. Piston should go up and down smoothly. You should feel no resistance. And the chain kind of bind it up a little bit. Nice and smooth. I can't believe I got these cylinders on so easily. In the past I've struggled, you know, to get them on quite smoothly, but they went. So that's it. The rings are in there pretty good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little oil residue with my finger and line these cylinders with it, and then make a couple of passes, cycling the engine, and then that's it. I mean, I can get this thing on a lift and get to work on the head. Actually though, before I even do that, I'm going to install the cam guides down this slot. Those have to go in now before the head goes on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think that'll be it for this update. I'm going to keep this update short and sweet. And then I'm going to get this thing on the lift over here on the other side. And I'm going to do the head while it's on the lift, because I'm going to have to make it over all the way over here to the bike, and then lift the engine on the lift into the frame. So man, we're moving quick. I'm really excited, guys. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. Can't wait to get this done. She's gonna run really well. So let me go ahead and do that. And let me see, actually, where did I put the cam guides? I'm gonna put the camera down now. I'm gonna find the cam guides, and then I'm going to start rolling again. I'll do one final update, and I can actually go ahead and pull these studs out too, because they're not needed anymore. That was just to guide the cylinders onto the engine. Alright, hang on guys while I go get those cam guides. I'm going to put those in and I'll do another update. Guys, I went and grabbed the cam guides, and so I'm going to install those in here, right in this little slot, and there's a bolt that needs to go here. Actually, it's back there. It's in the back. So let's see. Let me put this down. I just want to show you. I mean, when I do a rebuild, I like to get most of the parts new. These are all new OEM parts from Kawasaki. Yep, I usually get them from Kawasaki Parts House. So here, I'm going to set the camera down and take them out of the plastic. You can reuse the old parts, but sometimes, you know, it's good to just, for peace of mind, just to get the new parts and call it a day. Brand new cam guides. These will need to be oiled slightly. I would recommend lubricating these so they don't get damaged by the cam chain. Got a bolt here. This bolt gets torqued down to 18 foot-pounds. Okay, so I'm going to get my little light here so I can show you guys. So we got the bolt right there, and it's going through. I don't know how well you guys can see that. But it's going through the guide into the engine case. And so that's it. And that little bolt will get 18 foot-pounds. Not too much torque. It will be next to impossible to remove. So I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to check the service manual, because I see I ordered some O-rings. And yes, there is an O-ring. And I believe I just had them. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. Ah, here we go. There's 2 O-rings, and I'm going to have to double check which one is the correct one. I think it's this thick one right here. Sorry guys, let me just turn you around. Yeah, I think it's this one right here. Yep, that's it. Alright, so bring you around. That was the O-ring right there for the cam guide. So let me go ahead and get that back installed back in. And like the other bolt, this gets 18 foot-pounds of torque. That's it. Not that much. And so now I'll take the large cam guide. And man, it's been so long, I forgot which way is up for this. This is pre-oiled, it seems like. Yep, that cam guide is pre-oiled. My hands are greasy. Always nice of them to do that. So this one doesn't get bolted in. It just kind of sits in a groove down here, right behind the timing rotor. And you can see it over there. And sling the chain on that without letting it fall. And this one, there's some free play here, but that gets lubricated. So I'm gonna go grab the paintbrush, put a little bit of oil on it, and lubricate this cam guide as well. Alright guys, just using my finger here. With a brand new glove, just to get some oil residue on the walls here. Pretty much it. Cam guide is just causing the chain to bind up a little bit. Nothing I can really do about that. Need to turn it. I mean, if I had a free hand, I would just get it to spin. You know what? Why don't I do that? Why don't I find a spot for the camera where I can show you guys? But you know what? I don't think you guys need to see that. I mean, you get the general idea. That there should be no resistance. This cam chain keeps binding down below, and that's what's causing it to stop. And I got to set it free. That's it. So the cylinders have a light coat of oil on it, and gonna go grab the head gasket and just gonna throw it in place. Wondering, this is a Waseco head gasket, and yes, you guessed it, this is a Waseco high compression piston kit, and that's why, even though they're a little bit aged, I'm using them for this build. They're really good piston. And of course, you want to be very careful. Alright, that's it guys. That's it. That is it. So this is just about wrapped up. This is just about wrapped up. Let me get that 2 in the middle. Leave that there. So like I was saying before, these Waseco high compression pistons, really good. I like them. They do tend to expand when they're warm, so when your motor is cold, you may hear clack, 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 you know, like a slap, because the skirts will slap. They're a noisy piston. That's okay. Once they get up to temp and they expand, they fill out the cylinders quite nicely. Really excited that I can finally get this thing going again. I've been itching to do it for a while. I took off most of last season, and I'm really looking forward to using this on the track this year. So I think I'm gonna stop stop this episode, but just to give you a brief update on the Airbox. So I installed a screen material that I got from Home Depot. I siliconed it and I just covered it with some duct tape so it can dry. That duct tape is actually coming off, and this is not the 3 snorkel that I have on the bike now. See, it's got the 3rd snorkel down there. 1, 2, and then 3 right there. I will be doing the same, giving that one the same treatment. But I just wanted to experiment on this one. So I got some screen material from Home Depot. I siliconed it in, and then I just put some duct tape on it so it could dry. So that duct tape is actually coming off, and I'm gonna swap it. I tried gaff tape. The gaff tape wasn't as strong as I thought it would be. I wasn't happy with it, so I'm gonna use Gorilla Tape. It's black. It's gonna match the color of the Airbox. So I'm gonna do that, and then I guess some point in the next video, I'll just update you on that and let you see how it looks, guys. So that's it for now. I really hope you guys are enjoying this content, and hey, stay tuned, guys. We're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, or even better, subscribe. And I'm open to suggestions or comments, so please, feel free to chime in if you think there's anything that will improve, anything you would like to see done with this build. I'd love to get some of your feedback. So that's it, guys. Stay tuned. This is the Airbox update. I silicone the screen material in, and then I use Gorilla Tape around the perimeter. So I mean, you can see it needs some paint. I'm going to touch up the paint, but I wanted to get the screen on in place first. The 3 snorkel, like I said before, is going to get the same treatment, but I'm really happy with the way this came out. This will definitely hold. So yeah, I'm going to do the same for the other one, and that'll be a wrap. So this build is shaping up, guys, and the motor's over here, just waiting for the head. I'm going to get it on the stand before I put the head on. And in the head, got to double check the cam timing and all of that. Then to set the valve lash, which will be a little bit challenging, but no biggie. Over here on my workbench, I have the tappets and the corresponding shims are underneath, but it's been so long I don't remember which size is what, so I'm going to measure all of those shims and start from scratch pretty much, but that's okay, and try to get it right. So I'm going to sit this Airbox over here, and that's it for this episode number 10. Really excited. I was able to make some good progress today, and that's it, guys. So till the next video, thanks everyone for watching. See you again soon.